There is always a chance to make the greatest comeback of our lives. We have all been there, at a low point in our lives, where we feel like we've hit rock bottom. This is a good sign. It means you're aware of it. It could be due to a failed relationship, a lost job opportunity, and just a feeling of disappointment and failure. However, in Islam, we are taught that no matter how far we fall, we can always get back up and get closer to our Creator, Allah Azza wa Jal. I will share exactly how you can implement this in your life in this video. Make sure to watch all the way to the end. Do not be weak. Number 1, change your mindset. This is the only way that true change can happen, and Allah Azza wa Jal has let us know that He only changes the condition of a people when they change the condition of their hearts. Another reading shares that we should change our lives and change our own circumstances. In other words, Allah will help you when you help yourself. As Muslims, we believe in the power of change and growth. We strive to become the best versions of ourselves, but often we find ourselves stuck in a fixed, limited mindset, limiting our own potential and growth as individuals. But what if we could change our mindset from a fixed and limited mindset to a growth mindset? What if we could unlock our full potential as Muslims and achieve our goals with a new perspective? Know this: in a fixed mindset, we believe that our abilities and talents are fixed traits that cannot be changed. We may think that we're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of achieving the success that we want. But this mindset will only hold you back. It will only make you doubt yourself. A growth mindset believes that our abilities and talents can be developed through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. It is a mindset that encourages us to embrace challenges, learn from failures, and see them as opportunities for growth. Everyone has the ability and capacity to improve and to change for the better, but not everyone puts it into action. This capability, rather this decision, is what will separate you from them. All the responsibility is on you. And no, we're not responsible for what happened to us, but we're responsible for what we do about it. Number 2, make moves in the shadows. We live in a society that glorifies material possessions, instant gratification, and self-indulgence. But as Muslims, we're called to live by a different way, a way that is guided by self-discipline. With so many distractions and temptations, it's easy to lose sight of our values, and that's why you must cut down the noise from your life and go ghost mode. Most of you probably spend the majority of your time scrolling through social media. Cut this out. Many of you play video games and watch films. Cut this out. Now don't misunderstand. Doing halal activities are fine, but only in moderation. Perhaps a halal video game is okay if you need to unwind, but you need to decide if these things are really worth your precious time or not. And of course, if it's haram, it's not even an option. Without these distractions, just think about the extra time that you'll have in your day. A half hour of video games per day turns into hours per week, turns into days of your time over the year. What books could you have read in that time? What new skills could you have learned that would have helped you in the long run and given you freedom, barakah, as well as money? For example, when the channel owner of BraveDeen used this time to work on a faceless channel, he had to learn how to edit these videos, how to write scripts, how the YouTube algorithm works. He assembled a team and started building. Now look how many individuals have taken inspiration and started their own Islamic channels. I advise you to do the same. He knew nothing about this, yet he studied it and learned it and mastered it. You can pick any skill you want. It doesn't have to be a faceless channel or even a YouTube channel. Just make sure it is a good cause and put it into practice. Number 3, stop procrastinating. Did you know that procrastination is one of the strongest soldiers of Shaitan? And by this, he has undone many people. I know how it feels, finding yourself putting off important tasks only to end up feeling stressed and scrambling to complete them at the last minute. We all go through this. it is a very common problem, but as Muslims, we have a responsibility towards our time and our actions. In Islam, time is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are accountable for how we use it and for how we waste it. Procrastination is essentially wasting this precious gift and neglecting our responsibilities. It is neglectfulness. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there are two blessings which many people lose: health and free time for doing good. Sahih Bukhari. Subhanallah, our time is precious, and we must make the most of it. Yet we often find ourselves falling into the trap of wasted time, delaying important tasks. For me, one of the main reasons for procrastination is lack of motivation. People may tell themselves, I'll do it later, I'm not in the mood right now. But as Muslims, we must find the will to persevere, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything that we do, to get back into the practice of discipline and self-control. Discipline is a skill, it is learned, and it's an emotion. It's something that you do by reminding yourself of the consequences of procrastination. People often say, the pain of not doing the hard work must be worse than doing the hard work itself. Procrastination is a failure of reminding yourself how delaying these tasks now will prevent you from your future and snatch away the goodness that waits for you ahead. Number 4, a new version of yourself. Create a new identity, a better and stronger you, the ideal version of yourself that will pull you into the future. As long as you stay the same way you act, the same way you think, the same way you live and feel, you won't change. You will always veer off course and fall back into old patterns. Why is that? It's because you don't have a compelling future that pulls you forward. How do you currently see yourself, and how do you expect to change this? Mold the idea of the person who you can become, who you can be proud of. Create it in your mind. Visualize what that person looks like and what type of life they have. And inshallah, it is consistent with the teachings of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and with the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, who had the best of characteristics, the most bravery, the best of character. Think about the qualities they have. Create this ideal in your mind and create his or her goals, aspirations, how they behave, what they do in their free time, and write these down. For example, this list may have things like someone who has no distractions and works deeply on their goals, someone who has a good amount of knowledge, ilm, someone who surrounds himself with good company. This will give you a good foundation to build upon and will help you transform yourself into the person that you could become. Now that you've defined your intentions, you need to break this down into smaller, actionable steps. Think of how this version of yourself will come about. How did they become like this? What did they do to reach this? What skills did they learn? What processes did they do on a daily basis? For example, if your ideal self is someone who is high in knowledge, an actionable step would be to read at least 30 minutes a day or complete the first module of a course on ilm, and then gradually build upon this goal until it is part of your day every day for hours a day, and before you know it, you will be on the path to becoming the person that you admire and desire to be. Number 5, make tawbah. Brothers and sisters, no matter how far you have fallen down the hole, no matter what sin you have committed, as long as you are alive, you have a chance to turn it all around. No matter how much evil you have done, it is always worth turning back to Allah. Make sincere tawbah, make istighfar. Stop the sin and turn away from it. Make plans and walk those plans to step away from the sin. Cut it out of your life completely. Detach completely from the people who you used to commit that sin with or who led you into it. Protect yourself, protect your iman, dedicate to becoming closer to Allah, because Allah can always reform your heart, but you must take the steps to walk down that path. You cannot become a better person while you are sinning and walking away from the path that Allah Azza wa Jal has made for you. Just look to the world of the kuffar. They may have all of these different ways of self-improvement. But you will see people who have supposedly reached the peaks of self-improvement, the people who are celebrities, renowned worldwide for their accomplishments and their successes, and yet we hear consistently about their disgusting and evil private lives, the abuses they commit to others, the harms they do to their own families, and many times they even take their own lives, despite having everything that this dunya has to offer. So what did they really do? Success in this dunya without success in your character, in your adab, in your iman, is no success at all. This is an empty world, and it will only fill you with more emptiness, and the more you hunger after it, the more your emptiness will grow. It is up to you, each and every one of you, listening to this message now, to find your iman again. Come close to Allah, turn away from the ways of the kuffar, and turn back to Islam. You will find that you will become a better person than you ever imagined, inshaAllah. And may Allah make it easy for each and every one of you. By the way, if you want this message to reach more Muslims, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Write BraveDeen to let me know you made it to the end. To get unfiltered knowledge, join my free newsletter below. May Allah reward your efforts. Until next time, stay brave and steadfast. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.